Hi, and welcome to another edition of Bauer Business Bites. My name is David Tighe, the Managing Director of Bauer Media here in Northern Ireland. And each week we take a look into the world of business and we get a story from the world of business. And what a story we've got for you this week. I'm delighted to be joined by Gareth Murphy, who's the CEO of Vertigo Group. Gareth, welcome to Business Bites.
Thank you very much, David. Good morning.
It's great to see you. Fantastic backdrop there, of course, iconic. And the story of Vertigo is a great business story. But before we get to that, just tell us briefly, what is the Vertigo Group for those of us who may not know?
The Vertigo Group started 8 years ago and really looked at taking indoor leisure and looking at trying to make it bigger, better, more unique, and catering for families, adults, corporates, children. And we agreed, my wife and I agreed when we were setting it up that we had to be innovative, we had to be at large scale, and we had to focus on the quality of the experience that we gave everybody. And it just grew from there, and it's something that we just started not knowing how big it would have got in such a short period of time. But it's been a fantastic journey, and we're loving every minute of it.
Brilliant. And for those of you who don't know, the Vertigo Group it presents itself in Northern Ireland as We Are Vertigo, and we can do all sorts of. You can kind of send me up into space almost, can't you?
Yes, we've got indoor skydiving, the only indoor skydiving that is on the island, and it's a fantastic adrenaline-fueled activity. And participating in it as a customer about 5 years ago made us really committed to try and bringing it into the group. And the best thing about it is we've had a 4-year-old skydiving, and we've had a 86-year-old on the same day skydiving, and it's great to watch. And in addition to the skydiving, we've got the world's largest indoor inflatable park. We've got indoor skiing. We've got a Ninja Warrior course. So there's lots of activities to do, and creating an ideal venue for people to spend, a family day out, or a large group of people who want to be entertained.
Great, great. And there's a really interesting story because obviously the story of the growth of the business is interesting in itself. But the last, I suppose, 9 months have presented a unique opportunity for you and your team. So just walk us through that sort of innovative story, because I think it's really a really good one.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to where the entire hospitality sector had suffered the shock of being forced into close with the COVID pandemic, and that's something that we had never planned for. We planned for a lot of things in business, but I don't think anyone had a plan B if this was to happen. So we found ourselves in a very strange position, which was all businesses closed. A very challenging time. We had just completed a significant investment a few months beforehand, and it was just a very difficult time for the business. So we met up during the lockdown. We give ourselves a task, which was to come up with a plan at 4 o'clock for a deviation from our business of something that would be successful in the new world that we were in, something that was socially distant compliant, something that would be received well in the marketplace. And we met in the car park, came up with the idea of cargo because we already had a small restaurant on the grounds of Titanic Quarter. And we looked at the car park out the back, and we said, let's use this space. Space is going to be key. Space is going to be a premium. Let's try and use the space and build something from a blank canvas that is going to be a really beautiful area that can provide socially distanced hospitality, and that's how cargo came about. And from the idea to opening was 4 weeks of turning a vacant car park into a really beautiful outdoor summer environment, which was a short-term duration, maybe for about 3 or 4 months, but we were blown away by the success of that.
It's a really inspirational story of what can be achieved if everyone puts their mind to it. And I think a deadline often helps in business. When you've got a deadline, you know that you've got to get your finger out and kind of make something happen. So great story. And what about now? Where's the group now? And what does the next sort of period look like? The run up to Christmas and perhaps the early part of New Year. Still one or two things that have yet to be settled out there in the world. So what's your thinking now, Gareth?
Yeah, we've had the leisure part of the business, the activity part of the business, open for about 6 weeks through August, and then it's been closed since the middle of October. We're opening now on Friday, all the businesses, and this is normally a very busy time of year for the business. You know, people getting together, school groups, corporate Christmas parties, things like that, and it's a very busy time of the year. Also, vouchers. We've got an online, very digitally focused business. So a lot of bookings allows us to capacity control customers and book vouchers and all online. So that's normally a very busy time of year, and it is showing signs that it's recovering now. That there's been some decisions made about opening. The challenge that we had with cargo was taking something that was built for a warm summer environment and being able to continue the success of that into the winter when it's cold. So we've worked during the lockdown, and I think the benefit of the lockdown is it's allowed us to be creative, it's allowed us to think, it's allowed us to, spend the time to look at doing things. So we've winterized the cargo offering, and we've been able to use some unique areas. I think what you're maybe looking at now are concrete sewer pipes that we've converted into individual dining pods for groups of six. We've heated the area. We've brought in covers. We've heated all of the tents, the marquees. We've got where I'm sitting at the minute, the VIP area, and then we've got ski gondolas. So during the summer, we actually looked at investing in ski gondolas, and ski resorts are very used to actually making outdoor, very cold environments very hospitable and great for socializing. And I think that's what we try to create as well. We try to create a good, safe environment with a bit of a theme from the ski resorts. And we've 12 ski gondolas that people can have their meal and sit in with fire pits. And we're very happy. And the team are equally as committed to developing the business on an ongoing basis and coming up with great ideas that make cargo and Vertigo what it is. So it's definitely a team effort, and the guys are very good at doing that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely blown away by the fact that what you've done with the creativity in terms of taking those sewer pipes or whatever they were called, but and making them into something that's just so fantastic. I mean, I think that's a truly inspirational story for anyone that might be watching this. That there is really nothing that cannot be done if you set your mind to it, and you've got, again, there's probably a deadline that's driving all of this stuff. It's truly remarkable what can be achieved. So I suppose we're looking forward. There's obviously talks now of and vaccines coming into play and things like that. So have you got a message for the people in charge in terms of your industry, where you're at, and perhaps for others who are in the same boat as you?
Yeah, the decisions that have hit our industry and our sector have been the hardest. The hospitality sector has shown the lowest evidence of transmission rates, but it's been the most profile sector to have suffered pain. And I think the indecisiveness and sometimes loses confidence in the public, which maybe stops people adhering to policies or doing the right thing. So I think there needs to be a lot of consistency and strong leadership in all governments to make sure that we can get to the stage where we can actually get through what needs to happen to get some sense of normality back into the world. And I think, looking at making the right decisions and not making decisions for the optics of closing down a sector, which had no significant reduction in the R rate, but completely ruined the hospitality sector while other sectors could remain open, just didn't seem fair. The first lockdown worked because it was universal. The other mini lockdowns have not worked because closing hospitality is only driving people into house parties where the rate of transmission is higher. People going to what's deemed essential or non-essential retail. So it's been very difficult for the sector, but we hope people make the right decisions that allow us to get to the recovery that we all need.
Gareth, truly inspirational story. Thanks for taking the time out to be with us today, and we wish you all the very best for Christmas and beyond. Thanks for being our guest.
Thank you, David.